All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 130. Today on the show, we have a debate recap you're not going to want to miss. Then, is the Great Replacement a conspiracy or something that's been in the works for the last 30 years? We'll explain. Then, this obnoxious welder doesn't understand why everyone at work hates him. We'll try to provide some insight. And last but not least, this Alabama cop is under fire for how she arrested a criminal. We'll provide some context that some other people are ignoring. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 130, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words. But at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Grab.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, this week's episode is brought to you by our friends over at My Patriot Supply. At this point, it's very clear that the unthinkable is here. Our most trusted institutions deceive us boldly every single day, and time is running out. That's why you need to prepare with My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply is the country's largest preparedness company and is more than capable of helping you stock your shelves. Their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits provide delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years in storage. And right now, they're $200 off. Get over 2,000 calories every day. Just add water, heat, and eat. Make sure every member of your family has a 3-month emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply. Go to preparewithfleccas.com right now. Get $200 in savings. And if you put your order in before 3 o'clock, it will ship free same day. It's always best to have an emergency food supply kit and not need it than to need one and not have it. Go to preparewithfleccas.com right now. Save $200. Preparewithfleccas.com is the website. Thank you for supporting the show, My Patriot Supply. Let's make sure we support them right back. Now let's get into housekeeping. Thank you to My Patriot Supply for sponsoring.
Thank you, My Patriot Supply.
It's very good to have emergency supplies on deck, especially with where things are going.
Yeah.
All right. We have a very important housekeeping to get to. We have 3 pages of housekeeping, nothing crazy.
That's light.
Little light in the housekeeping, but we're heavy in Cringe and Urban.
Okay.
A very important show. Let's start with the border. We have a new update from President Biden's Twitter account.
Yeah, the people who run President Biden's Twitter account sent out this post today. It said, Republicans in Congress are threatening to cut off support for Ukraine unless they can force through their extreme partisan border policies. It's political blackmail, pure and simple. The stakes are too high and the consequences are too significant for political brinksmanship.
So I guess it's political blackmail to not leave the border fully open 24/7 for whoever wants to come from wherever, whenever.
Any country, all the time, 24/7. It's just, that's extreme partisan border policies.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, it's blackmail too, because we have hundreds of billions of dollars that could be going to Ukraine.
But those pesky Republicans are holding it up.
They're trying to hold it back because the border's not open enough.
How did we get here, dude? How did we get here?
Well, let's see what the administration is trying to keep doing. Here's an illegal coming across saying he loves Joe Biden. I don't know if you believe him or not. Let's see.
I love you, Joe Biden. Thank you for everything, Joe Biden. I'm a good person. I want to be a good person here in the United States.
What kind of accent was that?
Well, one of them's from Morocco. One of them's from Liberia.
Okay, should I keep playing?
Yeah.
I came here because I want quality life. You know, America is a land of opportunity.
Morocco and Liberia. That's just south of Mexico, right? So they only had to go through one country?
They just walked right across. And it's not asylum seeking either because they're just saying, I want a better life. I want a job.
Yeah.
So there's no asylum. They're not running from anything. They just want it better than Morocco is America.
Yeah. Hey, I wish it was that easy to go wherever I wanted. You know, the border patrols at every country I've ever visited, they stamp my passport, they check my shit. I don't just say I love whatever the president is of this country, and they go, send him in.
He just wants a job.
It's never going to happen for us, so why does it happen for them?
Yeah.
Very disrespectful.
And then we have another group crossing the border illegally, and here's Border Patrol letting them in. Here they are. Hole in the fence.
Yeah, hole in the slat.
And I don't mean to be dramatic, but isn't this treason? If you're the Border Patrol guy?
I believe it is.
And people would be like, well, they're just doing their job. But isn't their job to be Border Patrol? Aren't they just not doing their job?
When we were asking for examples of backwards and upside down,
Yeah.
Border Patrol helping illegal immigrants jump the fence. Pretty sure that qualifies for backwards and upside down.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like buying drugs from a cop. It's like, isn't your job to do
And
the
he
opposite?
doesn't arrest you after. He lets you keep the drugs and he gets high with you.
Just some side money. And then there was a tweet that kind of explained what's going on at the border. This person went down to the border to see firsthand what was going on, and here's what happened.
Yeah, an American citizen went to the border to see because he knew people were crossing there. And he goes, within 5 minutes of arriving at the southern border in Eagle Pass, no less than 7 officers stormed up behind us to inquire about what we were doing on public property and tell us we were not allowed to cross a specific barrier. So we were forced to recognize a border that separates Texas and Texas. But Border Patrol was actively helping illegals ignore the border that separates Texas and Mexico. Ironic, huh?
Yeah. Something bad's going on.
They feel like compromised? I don't know.
Fully compromised. And then here's who they're letting in. There's this guy from Africa. And here's an example of who's coming across from the third world.
You stand right there?
Huh?
You stand right there?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So how long have you been in America?
Near here.
You been in America? They flew you in?
Small.
Yeah, they flew you in America. Okay, go ahead, man. I'm done. You don't see what's going on here.
So that's good. So that's in Georgia.
Yeah, that's deep in the country.
That's in our country. That's in Georgia. And that guy's from Africa. You think he knows the rules here?
I think he can barely grunt and communicate. So,
Do you think he has means of making money?
No, shockingly, I don't. I don't even think this guy could make it as a dishwasher.
Do you think he's willing to strong arm people when he gets desperate?
Yes, I absolutely do. And we're laughing about it, but dude,
Yeah.
this is crazy. And then also, like, logistically speaking, right? Illegal immigrants from Mexico, that's one thing. A lot of people speak Spanish in America. What does this guy do when he needs to, like, talk to someone or he gets arrested or anything sort of happens? It's like, okay, we need a guy to fucking translate Congolese.
Yeah.
We're just guessing here and,
He
like,
goes, pocket money.
pocket money. That's the only thing he knows how to do.
Yeah, so millions of third worlders are en route or here already.
We're literally at the peak where we're breaking records every day and stuff like that. So we can't forget where we are.
Absolute millions and millions and millions here. And when you say, oh, we're getting replaced, this is the great replacement. This is like the conspiracy theory everyone talks about. Everyone says it's not true. It's not happening. It's just a conspiracy theory. But let's look back at Joe Biden on this same topic. This is like years ago, Joe Biden.
Not only our Muslim communities, but African communities, Asian communities, Hispanic communities, and the wave still continues. It's not going to stop, nor should we want it to stop. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things I think we can be most proud of. So there's a second thing in that black box, an unrelenting stream of immigration, nonstop. Folks like me who are Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America. Absolute minority. Fewer than 50% of the people in America from then and on will be white European stock. That's not a bad thing. That's a source of our strength.
Okay, so the plan has been in the works for years.
Yeah, seems like it.
And they're trying to tell us it's just a conspiracy. But then you hear comments like that from Joe Biden from years ago, and it makes you wonder, the replacement theory, the great replacement theory, white people need to be the minority in the country. Why do we need to get replaced by non-whites? What do they have that white people don't have that we need?
Yeah.
You know, like we need to bring them in for some reason. He keeps bringing it up. But like, what is it that people have that white people don't have that we need from them? No one has an answer.
Culturally speaking, I don't know. Everybody who runs a Fortune 500 company says, yeah, we need bodies.
Yeah.
The Chipotle that did $2 million in revenue last year, that could do 2.5 with a bunch more bodies.
Yeah.
And it's not even up. So it's just all like corporate interest. It's not, has nothing to do with culture or anything like that or standard of living. And that's what we've harped on before is, how does this affect my standard of living? Like, 300,000 immigrants cost this month. Where are they going? Did the city just get tighter? My elbow room's gone, you know? All of a sudden, everyone's on top of each other. And the Chipotle makes more money, but
I don't fully get it. And I'm always told, America's a melting pot. America's a melting pot.
Uh-huh.
Can we look up who created the term melting pot? Can you Google that really quick?
Yeah.
Who made the term melting pot? What's his name?
Israel Zangwill. While melting was in common use, the exact term melting pot came into general usage in 1908 after the premiere of the play The Melting Pot by Israel Zangwill.
Israel Zangwill. Can you look him up? Who's Israel Zangwill? Really quick. He came up with the term melting pot.
Israel Zangwill was a British author at the forefront of cultural Zionism during the 19th century and was a close associate of Theodor Herzl. He later rejected the search for a Jewish homeland in Palestine and became the prime thinker behind the territorial movement.
So I guess we'll have to look into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because that's who came up with the term melting pot. And I guess we have to just look a little further into it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do some research when I get off.
Yeah, that's strange. And also, melting pot, it's like up until basically 1980, America always gave preferential treatment to Western European immigrants.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Not even Eastern.
Yeah, we were discriminating against Eastern Europe.
So if anything, it's like a Western European melting pot where the Irish and the Italians, they could go be together.
Exactly. And we went from discriminating against Eastern Europe to anyone across the world who can get to the southern border. Good luck.
If you physically get here, it's yours.
Yeah, that's like an accomplishment. It's a mission.
Yeah.
So
that's what's going on. All right, let's move on. We have a debate recap. We just have some clips that we need to play. We have Nikki Haley talking about Zionism.
Biden made a mistake not including anti-Zionism in the definition of anti-Semitism. If you don't think that Israel has a right to exist, that is anti-Semitic. We will change the definition so that every government, every school has to acknowledge the definition for what it is.
All right. A lot more talk about Israel at the American president debate.
Yeah.
Let's do the next one, the TikTok
There must be
one.
a huge percentage of the population, 80, 90, for them to make laws like that.
Yeah. And here's Nikki Haley again.
We really do need to ban TikTok once and for all. And let me tell you why. For every 30 minutes that someone watches TikTok, every day, they become 17% more anti-Semitic, more pro-Hamas based on doing that. We now know.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Sounds made up. I don't know, Nikki. I don't know.
Every 30 minutes every day equals 17% more anti-Semitic. Well, that's weird. I'm barely on TikTok.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Vivek final clip. This is the one that summed it up nicely. Vivek just cooked everybody, and he did a great job.
And I think those with foreign policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, I mean, she has no idea what the hell the names of those provinces are, but she wants to send our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it. So reject this myth that they've been selling you, that somebody had a cup of coffee stint at the UN and then makes $8 million after, has real foreign policy experience. It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blank expression. She doesn't know the names of the...
Look at the blank expression.
And Ron DeSantis is just like...
I know. Ron DeSantis just watched a body get dragged out.
He's going like this.
Yeah. And the funniest part about that is like Vivek gambled. He rolled the dice there. If she came out with 3 provinces, he's a dead man.
Yeah.
And the whole reaction is different. But obviously, Nikki Haley doesn't know shit. I bet she could name every defense contractor who's donated to her campaign, though.
Yep. Nikki Raytheon Ramaswamy.
Nikki, Nimrata, Raytheon, Lockheed, Ramaswamy.
So, yeah. And then there's one more Republican who's willing to throw her hat in the ring, Liz Cheney.
Yeah, Liz Cheney is considering a third-party presidential bid to stop Trump from winning in 2024.
What do you think is going to happen?
This is getting so old, man. These same old, like, establishment faces, and, like, one of the McCains is going to run soon.
Like, do you think that you saying that is going to make people ever vote for you?
Crazy.
Well, who's your base?
Nobody.
I don't even know.
A couple people in Wyoming, the least populous state.
Exactly. All right, page 2 of housekeeping. We're moving on. Ireland's still popping off. This is something we wanted to point out. They're accusing Elon Musk of being responsible for the protests because of Twitter.
Yeah. Elon Musk's X platform fueled far-right riots in Ireland, experts say.
So it was Twitter, not the migrant stabbing a child.
This is like a Norm Macdonald joke. He'd be like, I think it was the stabbing. Like, that's it. That's all we need to talk about, guys.
Yeah.
But of course, they want to go after Elon Musk for what? accurate information going out there.
Yeah, this is why everyone needs to hate journalists more. And this is also, one of the reasons why Elon Musk is telling people to go fuck themselves. You want to play that clip of him saying, go fuck yourself?
Didn't we play that last week?
Just play the clip. Just play it.
Go fuck yourself. Black community, with money. Hey, Barbara. Money. No money. No money. No money.
That guy fucking cracks me up, dude.
Yeah.
He can't speak English so bad, and he does it.
Yeah.
He still, hey, let that be a lesson to some of you out there.
He shows up.
He shows up, he puts on his hard hat, and he gets to work.
Yeah. All right, let's to our next clip, please. Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah.
Remember he said this a month ago, September?
I mean, your question is, just give up and quit. I'm the wrong guy to ask that question to. I never quit. I'm not working for some member sitting in our office. I'm working for this country, and I'm never going to give up on the American people. I'm going to work every day. And you know what? If I come up short today, I'm going to work harder tomorrow. That's what I do.
Well, he actually did, in fact, quit.
In other news, Kevin McCarthy quit the Congress this week.
Yeah, and he'll be stepping down at the end of the year. He's going home to mommy. Goodbye.
So our razor-thin Republican majority, once again, we expelled George Santos earlier this week, and now Kevin McCarthy's calling it quits. So, all right.
It's self-sabotage.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not going to comply and do it how we want, no one's going to get what they want, and we're going to sink the ship.
Yeah. Deadlock.
That's how it goes. Let's move on. We have some breaking news. The giant hole in the sun is now bigger than 60 Earths and is currently exploding.
Excuse me? Baking powder?
So I hope this doesn't affect my holiday travel to LaGuardia.
What?
It's probably nothing. It could be deep state.
Yeah. That's a bummer. I'm first place in my fantasy league right now. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to see the end of that.
So who knows?
Just all these like mundane things and the sun is exploding. All right.
We're short on time for housekeeping. We're going to have to move on fast. But yeah, the sun is apparently exploding. But it's probably a deep state thing. Everyone knows that 90% of NASA's budget is graphic design. Graphic design and Photoshop. So it's probably nothing.
All right.
Hard time believing that. All right. Make this opportunity your opportunity to tickle and juice the algo. We need you guys to comment again. Comment a third time, and then start talking about what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Like the video. That helps. Make sure notifications are on. And a little bonus feature, maybe go back and watch Tuesday's episode.
Yeah, we got fucking killed on Tuesday's episode.
Fucking killed on Tuesday's episode because it was age restricted to 18 plus, and we got fucking killed. So make sure you guys go watch that again. If you haven't seen it, it's probably because they're hiding it from you.
It blurred out the thumbnail and everything. Total YouTube humiliation ritual. So
yeah, they're killing us. And also, it is the holidays, so make sure you're sending us gifts to the P.O. Box. We need gifts. We like things. And you guys send us good stuff. People send us nice things.
People send very nice stuff. Good schizo shit, too, like schizo art.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Nice handwritten notes from old ladies with like a check for $25.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff I like. All right. Who listened last week and who didn't? We said it's time to be henchman-maxing. I found a guy who listened very close.
Обнял, братан. Давай с юбилеем. По-любому.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and much like the space race between Russia and the U.S., there's a henchman-maxing race, and Russia is eating our lunch right now.
Miles ahead.
They have so many more henchmen per capita than we do, and I don't know. We got to even it out. So
yeah. So and that was also a podcast shout out.
Yeah.
You probably I translated from Russia. He said Fleccas Talks podcast, best new podcast ever. Kind of
he got a little wrong, lost in translation, but
lost in translation. Best new podcast of all time, best new podcast ever. Basically the same thing. Thank you for the shout out.
Yep.
All right, page 3 of housekeeping. Pitbull kills intruder.
Yeah, did we cover this at some point? Intruder 21 is mauled to death by 2 pit bulls while trying to break into a Georgia home. Homeowner finds his body on the porch the next morning.
Yeah, and everyone's sending me this because everyone knows I'm anti-pitbull.
Yeah.
And they're like, see, you still don't like these dogs? And it's like, yeah, they kill bad guys too sometimes.
Yeah, they get lucky every once in a while.
Yeah, so...
And now they have bloodlust.
Yeah.
So you can't keep them around again, you know?
Oh, next time someone not in the family comes in, we're going to eat them too.
Yeah.
And everyone in these pictures is doing their stereotypes. We have the black criminal being misrepresented by the media with a graduation hat.
Yeah.
And then we have...
They used the graduation pic for his burglary.
And then we have the Pitbull killing whoever comes in the door.
Yeah.
So everyone's doing Occam's razor type shit.
Exactly. As expected.
But everyone says, see, it's like, do you take back what you said? And it's like, he just happened to kill a bad guy this time.
Pitbulls are gonna kill.
Yeah.
He just got lucky. I don't know.
Could have been the landlord. All right, let's move on to the accident chef. A chef had a life-altering accident where he's like kind of paralyzed.
Yeah, severe accident left him immobile. The chef invented a system to continue cooking.
So check out this system he's got. I mean...
Little pulley chain thing, moving around. It kind of hovers around. Oh, with the pot, too.
Yeah, this is a pretty good system. Like,
Okay.
I would like this type of setup to move around my own house. It looks like it makes walking easier and fun.
Light on the joints.
Which takes us to our question of the day.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
If I say I'd like this setup for my own house, do I become more likely, less likely, or the same likely to get into a life-altering accident where I would need that kind of setup?
The same. Nothing changes. You're not tempting fate. You're not doing anything.
Okay. I think I would become more likely because I'd be putting a curse out into the world and I'd be like proclaiming that to myself in a negative way.
See, this kind of reminds me of the guy who's really heavily into progressive causes and then gets killed by a street rat criminal.
Uh-huh.
But that's because his behavior changes. He walks towards him. He goes, I'm not racist. This street rat at 2 a.m., I can go approach him. I'm his ally. Your behavior isn't changing at all. You're not like going out there and driving 80 now.
That's a good point.
So I'm going to say stays the same. And I'm assuming you think it would increase your chances?
Increase.
So you're tempting fate and you think it
It's
puts
not
something...
good to curse yourself like that.
Okay.
That's just what I think. Let us know in the comments what you guys think.
All right, that's fine.
And also, I can't go 80 because my car's in the shop. Because it's 2023 and you get your car fixed and then they have your car for 2 months and then you finally get it back and then within 30 minutes, it does the same problem you brought it there for and you can't get your car fixed. That's just like kind of how the economy is in America. Sign of the times.
Do they charge you?
Yeah.
How much?
It was only $1,000.
Oh, okay. Not
but
bad.
because there was some warranty fix on the rest of it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the sign of the times these days. You bring your car to get fixed from the dealership, the highest level you can go.
There's nobody above the dealership.
And they don't fix it. And they go, here's your car back. And you go, is it fixed? And they go, yeah. And then it's broken again. So that's what happens to me. All right, Hobby Lobby Santa. Let's get to that.
Yeah, so we love the paralyzed Black Santa. We still don't know how he was paralyzed and got into the wheelchair. But Hobby Lobby has a different Black Santa, able-bodied Black Santa. And there's some interesting names on his list. It's different than the white kids list.
So the white guys' names are Mary and Todd and Patrick.
Liam, Patrick, Mary, Daniel, William, all the hits.
And then on the Black Santa's good list, you got LaToya on the good list.
Dwayne.
Deshaun has been good.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one. Sebastian.
That's a white name.
Joseph.
Yeah, what the They didn't want to do, they got Chinese finger trapped where they didn't want to do all black names. And so they had to mix and match.
They had to mix and match.
Are you going to buy one of these?
Yeah.
This is going to become a new hobby of yours, collecting all the PC Santas.
Yeah, I found one that's like a life-size Black Santa on Amazon for $180. And it's good. This might be a little expensive, yeah, but on the other hand, you can use it all year round. You just leave it out front of your house all year round.
Yeah, the neighbors love it.
All right, Fast Doppel section. Also, just so you guys know, shout-outs are at the end of Friday episodes now. We shout out everyone who wants a shout out and an America First small business.
Okay.
We have a quick doppels this week. It's me and Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
I get it. I see it. Fat guy, beard, doing something.
And whoever sent that in, we caught you.
Why? Yeah, you playing Pokemon and shit?
Caught you playing Pokemon Go.
It's fucking embarrassing.
All right, and then this is you.
Guy, is that you or is that me?
I don't know. It could be either. I could take it.
Yeah, you take it.
All right, this is me.
Like
some trans guy had fun at the beach today. All right.
All right, that is the end of our housekeeping. We are moving on to Cringe of the Week, but before we do, we have a very important message. Important message from our friends over at Undertech. This week's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Undertech. Most guys spend about half their day sitting. And like most guys, you probably know what it's like to be irritated and uncomfortable and having to constantly adjust your boxers. But Undertac isn't your typical boxers. They're made with modal, which is like cotton but better. It's moisture wicking, antibacterial, and way softer. Undertac is durable, ultra light, fade and shrink resistant, and the best part, they are 25% less expensive and come with twice the satisfaction guarantee of the competition. If that's not enough for you, Undertac also donates a portion of their profits to organizations that fight human trafficking. Pick up a drawer full today. Go to undertac.com and use code Fleccas20 for 20% off site-wide. That's undertac.com, undertac.com. Use code Fleccas20 for 20% off. They support the show. Everyone wears underwear. Why not pick up a high-quality America First product from one of our sponsors? Undertac.com is the website. Fleccas20 is the promo code. Thank you, Undertac.
Thank you, Undertac, as well.
It's always good to wear the best underwear in the game.
Yep.
All right, first clip of Cringe of the Week, the Fuck It calendar.
All right, any preface to this at all? Or
this is just like a real bad attitude girl video.
This is the Fuck It 2024 calendar for tired-ass women. Shall we jump to a random month? Bad bitches have bad days too. It's a beautiful day to leave me the fuck alone. Let's jump to another one. July, you've got this shit. I gave 0 fucks and lived happily ever after. September says, let's keep the dumb fuckery to a minimum today. Life's a fucking laugh. But so am I. November, we've got, I'm a happy-go-lucky ray of fucking sunshine. It even includes holidays. Adulting is bullshit. So appropriate for December.
All right, we get it. So you just added fucking to existing phrases.
That's such a cringe millennial specific humor where you kind of like girl boss and swear at the same time. And you feel like you're getting out of bounds a little bit because like your parents didn't like you swearing.
Yeah.
So you add the F word to like some mediocre phrase.
2 in the hand's worth 2 in the fucking bush. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Early bird gets the fucking worm.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. And it's like, the ladies, this isn't your natural state either. Like bitter and scorned.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got played by some guy and now you're mad. And it's like, maybe you did get played by a guy or many guys.
Yeah.
Right? But when you have this attitude going forward, you actually remove yourself from like the dating pool for dating good guys because a good guy is not going to deal with someone with an attitude like this.
Yeah.
So then you almost like manifest negative people or guys that would put up with this, and then you're going to be constantly disappointed by them, and you're going to become more and more of like this dumb bitch.
Yeah. And we've covered this before with like Barnes and Noble type books, like self-help women books, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yeah.
And it's just so cringy to me. And it reminds me of, I think it was Jerry Seinfeld or something who used to do stand-up, and then he decided to not swear in stand-up because it felt cheap or whatever. He kind of said like, oh, I did a joke without the F word and then it bombed and it didn't work. And it felt like that was cheap art.
It was like a crutch.
Exactly. And this is the exact opposite. We take 10 phrases and we slip fuck, shit, or bullshit in it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This is the lowest form of like cutesy humor to me.
Yeah. And then adulting sucks.
Adulting?
Adulting is hard for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I had to do before the show?
What?
I had to go to the front door and pick up all the groceries and bring them to the kitchen and put them in the fridge and freezer. I'm still pleasant. I'm not jaded by that.
We all go to the DMV, bitch. Like, you know, I don't get this kind of energy.
Do what you have to do.
This kind of energy isn't good for you either.
Yeah.
That's the root.
There's a thing with girls that they lean into this type of energy at a certain age. They get to be like close to 30 and they're kind of like mad. Yeah. And then they lean into this attitude and they're kind of like, instead of being like, hey, I'm almost 30, I better get pleasant and nice and marry somebody, they actually lean into this and double down on like, I'm going to be the know-it-all bitch. And let's see how that works out for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Teachers mad about white families.
Happy Friday, but can I ask you a serious question? How is it 2023 and this, I'll show you in a minute, is what we are saying the majority of families look like? This is the majority families.
With the eyes
Don't get
that
me
close.
wrong, there are families like that. And those families have plenty of things dedicated to them. Movies and books and holidays and all the things.
Yeah.
Why?
Protect trans kids. Pin.
Yeah.
Opinion rejected.
Opinion rejected. Scanning.
Denied.
Scanning. Trans pin identified.
Trans pin, rainbow lanyard. Denied.
Yeah. Opinion disregard. Busy day at work for her, I guess.
Exactly. The kids are on break and she got triggered by the white people.
And she's mad that all these families that look like this. It's like the people are a cartoon with their eyes like this close to their head and the gigantic heads.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, imagine if it was black characters, but it was only the mom. Three kids, black single mom.
She would like that.
No, I think she would be offended by that.
Yeah, that's
even
true.
though statistically that's what's true, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. So there's no way to win with this person.
There's no way to win. You can't even play the game with her. And I'm more disappointed that like this type of person only exists in white culture. There's no other culture that where like a Mexican woman will like roll her eyes at like Mexican heritage shit.
Yeah.
Some black woman will never do it to her own culture. She'll be like, hell yeah, we took it.
Yeah.
So it's just so dumb and a waste of time. And you know when people say like normalize X, normalize this, and it's like usually gay leftists saying normalize something cringe.
Horrible, yeah.
It worked. They did. They normalized hating white people. They got this stupid smiling white bitch to just shit on her own culture and race because what? She feels bad for like a Hispanic kid in the class who needs to see something.
And like any choice made is now seen as discriminatory. So like they chose to put a white family, like a mom, a dad, and a kid. But you can't just say, okay, it's a white family. That's how some families look. That's how most families look. You can't do that because if you put a white family on the cover of the book or whatever,
someone got left out.
Yeah, like that was a choice. So it's like choosing a white family means you didn't choose a black family, and then that's actually problematic. So anything that's not open anti-whiteness is anti every other race.
Yeah. And it's funny because that sort of logic where it's like, oh, you put a white family on there, that means you displaced a black or a Mexican or whatever family. That same type of logic doesn't apply when 50 million illegal immigrants are here. Yeah. They don't care. That's the great replacement conspiracy, right?
That's a good point.
But representation matters on the picture book, the fake made up cartoon family. But when they put in, 10,000 Guatemalans into Southside Chicago, that's nothing.
Yeah. And then she says like, oh, they have enough representation. It's like, have you seen Netflix? Have you seen Snow White and Hercules and all these things? It's like they have more representation than ever. And then, like you said, there's literally thousands and thousands and millions of people who are here illegally.
Literal human bodies.
So like, don't worry, we're going out of our way for everyone who's not white. Yeah. That's what's going on. All right, next page of housekeeping, the girl who won't date certain guys.
I'm sorry, but if a guy picks me up in certain cars for a date, I'm just not going. I'm just not going. I'm sorry, but you can't tell me if someone pulls up in this. Hold on, let me put it on the screen. Hold on. This Prius, no, I'd rather not go on a date. I'm sorry. I already know the type of person you are. I can tell by the car you drive what kind of person you're going to be.
Should I say it, or do you want to say it?
I guess I couldn't date this girl between 2014 and 2018.
Rat Boy used to drive a Prius. Rat Boy used to drive a Prius. Rat Boy used to drive.
You caught me.
Rat Boy used to drive a red Prius. And I begged him to get rid of it. He used to drive a red Prius.
Hey, my fuel mileage on that Prius, baby? It was lit. I got the Prius. You know what, bitch? I didn't want you anyway.
Yeah.
Adulting is bullshit.
Same attitude. I get what she's saying. First things first, guys, if you drive a Prius, it's okay. You will find a girl to date you. Girls will date guys in Priuses, and you don't even want to date her. She probably lives in Miami.
She's got an OnlyFans, likely.
Well, let's not date her. So let's get that out of the way. What do you do? Maybe you're a guy and buying a Prius is your only option. Here's where I come in.
Okay.
There are cool options that you can get. A car, all these cars behind me, they're all around $10,000. You have Jeep Wranglers, old Mercedes. That's what I used to do. 99 SL 500. That was the coolest car you can get in 1999. And yeah, maybe it's not that practical. Maybe it only has
the starter's about to wear out.
Yeah, it only has 2 seats and a brutal oil leak, and the seatbelt on the passenger seat doesn't really work, so you can only drive yourself. but you're cool to stupid girls.
Deion Sanders drove it in 1997.
Emmett Smith has one. So there's a pro and con. That's what I did in LA. The Chrysler LeBaron.
Yeah.
You can get that for like $7,500.
Smart.
So there are options, so people won't think you're lame. Reliability, not so much, but who cares? Who cares about being reliable?
Who cares?
You
You'll get this girl. She'll go on a date with you.
And then also, the top didn't work on my car.
Yeah.
So whenever it rained or if it was the summer, I had a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
And then remember that time I got a flat tire and I couldn't get
he drove on it for like a mile.
And I couldn't get the bolts off, so I just drove it all the way home. And people were like, "What are you doing? Are you
People
okay?"
were waving him. He was crossing a bridge, and they were like, "Hey, you can't go any further." And he was just like, "I'm making it to my friend's driveway.
Like, I'm dumping this car." And then I dumped it.
Yeah.
So that's how you do it. You look cool, and you can maybe go on a date with this girl.
All right.
Let's move
that
on.
was the terrible advice section of the podcast. I hope everybody knows.
We need to move on. We made fun of stupid white liberal girls in the last few clips, and we just need to make a note that not all white girls are stupid liberal white girls.
Of course.
There are smart girls and successful normal girls too. Not every white girl is a stupid liberal white girl.
And anybody who's a white girl watching this show, you know what you are.
Yeah, you're on the good side. Yeah. So those nice girls, speaking of nice girls, what are they up to? They're losing to trans people in sports.
Yeah, they're getting smoked, knocked off a podium.
Let's go to the bike race podium where the first two winners were trans people. Yeah, here they are.
Here's the podium. There's Claire and I'm making up their names. Tessa, Michael, Johnson. They write this for us.
Johnson.
And then Evelyn Williamson took silver. This was in Chicago, actually, right by, I think, Montrose Harbor, where they had the race. But yeah, the only girl is in third place. Here is a corrected podium picture where she lost an arm, but they shifted the third place girl to first place, and then erased the trans people. So
erasing them from history.
There
Smart.
you go. And so I was just kind of reading up on this, just trying to make sure. And it's like the prizes were nominal. It was like they win $150 and blah, blah, blah. But obviously they're displacing women who get when you're an adult person and you participate in a hobby and a race and then you're supposed to get recognized for it, but then you're not even on the podium because two men are. That hurts a little bit.
That hurts bad.
You don't have many places to get like a dopamine rush.
Yeah.
When you're an adult like that. It's not like Little League where everybody gets a trophy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so this paragraph stood out to me. In its official FAQ on the topic of transgender cyclists, the Cup notes that discrimination or harassment of any kind on the basis of race, color, religion, age, gender, sexual orientation, gender identification, national origin, or any other stupid idea that someone comes up with to belittle another racer will not be tolerated at our events and may result in disqualification.
So it's the same energy as the fuck it calendar girl.
Adulting is bullshit. Whatever else fucking thing you could make up.
And like these types, you see it in the education system. We see it in the stupid calendar girl. These are who's forfeiting a lot to the progressive agenda.
Of course.
They're willing to forfeit women's cycling. This one woman in charge who wrote that article or gave her statement for that article.
Yep.
She was willing to ruin all of cycling. And keep in mind, cycling and whatever these sports are, they'll drug test you to make sure you don't have an unfair advantage.
Of course.
But if you're a man, I guess that doesn't really fall under the same umbrella.
Yep.
Yeah. So these are the people who have done more damage than most to society. And then here's this lady saying, the president of some women's organization saying that women need to learn how to lose gracefully.
And success in school sports depends on a whole range of factors, including how hard you work and coaching and access to really good resources and facilities. And trans students participate in sports for the same reason as their kids, because it is fun, because it creates belonging and community, because it teaches so much about persistence and leadership and discipline, unless they learn to lose gracefully, hopefully.
Yeah.
And
you got to learn how to lose gracefully to the guy who's confused.
Yeah.
So,
and all the things she mentioned, like it's fun, it builds this, it builds that. It's like, yeah, doesn't the Gaia's team do that?
Yeah.
You want to shoehorn yourself into the women's team that you can't learn those lessons? Yeah, it's more fun to win. It's our job to like stop you from just getting a landslide victory.
That's a good point.
And also, this woman was testifying in front of Congress on behalf of the trans sports, whatever. And she's the president and CEO of the National Women's Law Center. So you think the National Women's Law Center would be like, yeah, okay, we're the ones to take up this fight.
It's almost like the backwards and upside down.
Exactly. They will hollow out your institution and wear it as a skin suit for the progressive agenda.
Yeah.
Just because, like, oh, hey, oh, man, we got a problem. A lot of girls are getting beat up and displaced in sports. Who's going to help us? Maybe the National Women's Law Center? No, they're fucking on the side of the men in dresses.
Exactly. And it's the backwards and upside down because it's backwards because they're not helping women, and it's upside down because they're actually promoting men.
Yeah.
And then, you need to learn how to lose gracefully. That's not always the case. A lot of times you get injured. There's a girl who got a concussion in volleyball.
Yeah, exclusive. A father has come forward to reveal that his daughter suffered a head injury after playing school volleyball against a team with a trans-identified male student. My kid ended up not being able to play for the remainder of her season. We ended up taking my daughter to the doctor. The daughter got spiked in the head.
By a guy.
Point blank in the head by a dude dressed up as a lady playing volleyball. And we ended up taking my daughter to the doctor. They confirmed the concussion, and my kid ended up not being able to play for the remainder of her senior year. She was playing for fun, and this was her final year doing it. She felt robbed. I felt deflated and powerless.
Yeah, so she needs to learn how to lose gracefully, get KO'd gracefully.
Yeah, with just a head injury. She has to have a graceful head injury and perhaps permanent repercussions,
Yeah, but, lose gracefully to all the girls. Not just tell one guy with his wires crossed, nah, you can't play, buddy.
What's harder? And then this whole article, like, we're not going to read it verbatim, but it's this instant struggle that they put this father in. Should I speak out? Do I need to do this? Like, will I get canceled? What'll be the repercussions for my daughter? This whole crazy world just because some women got in charge and didn't want to say no to the man pretending.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, and then AOC, she's getting involved. There was an article that says, AOC claims all underage women will face genital examinations if biological men barred from female sports. So it immediately becomes the Handmaid's Tales.
Yeah, like we're checking cacks. Like, what does she think this is? And it's kind of like a disregard or like doomsday scenario where she's saying it, but it's pretty easy to keep track of a boy who just switched to the girls' team all of a sudden. Or Michael, who's now going by Heather. Pretty easy to keep track of, especially in high school sports when there's like a chain and a paper trail of physicals, because you need a physical when you're in high school sports.
And AOC, genital examinations for everyone, like it's some sort of like oppressive thing. How about we just do what we did 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I think we were fine for pretty much forever.
Can we go back to that? And if one sneaks through, a convincing one sneaks through, then all right. Surprise cock examination. Let's see. And like, didn't you get a physical when you were playing football in high school?
Of course.
Yeah. Some doctor checked my nuts.
Yeah.
I had to cough.
You made me kiss him.
All right.
All right, let's move on.
We're getting off the rails.
Let's
Mine too.
All the girls should go back to girls' sports and losing to Brock Lesnar's daughter.
Yeah.
That's who should be dominating.
That's the top end. You guys know the high end is Brock Lesnar's daughter. It shouldn't be fucking hard to figure out.
She just broke a record at Colorado State for shot putting. Here she is. That's who should be winning everything.
And if anybody beats her, then we know that's when the genital checks come from AOC.
Yep. That's the line.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not checking Brock Lesnar's daughter, but anyone past Brock Lesnar's daughter, suspicious.
Yep.
All right, let's move on. The 11-year-old girls forced to share a bed on a school trip.
Yeah, this was a school-assigned girl to sleep with boy who identifies as trans without parental notification. So, another trans secret.
Don't know what to do.
We don't tell anybody. Trans people love secrets, remember?
Yeah.
And so it said the Wales' 11-year-old daughter, who has identified in the letter as DW, was assigned to a room with 3 other students, according to the demand letter. 2 of the students were girls from her school, and the third student was a boy who identified as a girl. Named in the letter is KEM, who went to a different school.
So it's a stranger and a boy who's got his wires crossed, and everyone's 11 doing a sleepover.
Yeah, and then not only were they sharing a room, but they were told that they would share a bed. And that evening, the students were in their room together. KEM reportedly revealed to the girl that he is a boy who identified as a girl.
So that's what's going on in the schools, and if it doesn't sound that bad, it gets worse. This is a kindergarten aide at some school. He was hired by a principal who's also a drag queen.
Yeah, so they're chain migrating into schools now with like groomer shit.
It chain migration where it's like you get in there and then you have children and then your children, or you get your family to come across.
Yeah,
it's a chain migration.
Yeah, you pull in another drag queen. Who are you going to hire?
This school's safe. This school's safe for us.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And then so the grooming continues there.
Remember how it was like a weird sexual abuse thing too? How you never keep a secret. Like an adult will never ask you to keep a secret.
Yeah.
And then now it's like everything is a secret, as in withholding information about like trans kids being in and out of like the room you're sleeping in, and just keep it a secret on the sports team. We don't need to tell anybody.
A lot of secrets these days.
So all of a sudden that's back. I don't know
how that works. And then also with that, like obviously the LGBT stuff, in my opinion, is very groomable. Mm-hmm. And you can influence young people to becoming a part of it when they maybe wouldn't have.
Of course.
And we have proof of that because in Bonus Land earlier in the week on Tuesday, we talked about drag syndrome again.
Yeah.
Which is the group of 5 Down syndrome individuals who are all drag queens.
In like England, right?
In like the UK.
Yeah.
So it's basically like the odds of 5 Down syndrome people within 50 miles who are also all drag queens.
Yeah.
That's like getting attacked by a shark and struck by lightning on your birthday after winning the lotto.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's proof in itself that grooming is in fact happening, and that's how it works. And we have those people who have the brains of like children who are basically groomed and pushed into being drag queens. So there's the proof. Let's move on to the gay welder. This guy is mad at everyone at work.
Oh boy, they are really going to town on them now. Fortunately, I have patience. Well, would you look at that? 2 in 1 day. Someone's unhappy that I exist. Now, you may be asking yourself, is their plan to make everything as gay as possible? This is my welding helmet. This is my welding cap. Do-rag thing that I wear when it's not cold. This is my 22.5-pound homemade sledgehammer that I call the genderizer. This is my tool stand. This is my collection of hammers that I have dubbed my polyhammery. So, yes.
This is where I eat lunch alone in my car.
This is the break room where everybody leaves when I come in.
And it gets quiet and they look at me and stop talking. Yeah. This is where I don't get invited to the Christmas party. So that guy, he's like his identity is so wrapped around his sexuality.
Antagonistically, too.
Antagonistically. That is the key.
I don't even know if that's a word, but he's an antagonist.
I think you're onto something, because there's like a chicken or the egg situation that happens here where he's like, I need to be obnoxiously, openly as gay as possible at my workplace to push back against people who are oppressive against gays. And then everyone who probably sees them and goes, all right, this guy is so gay and annoying, I'm not going to be nice to him.
He's absolutely obnoxious.
And then it's like, okay, these guys are being mean to me. I better be as gay as possible because people want to push back against my identity. So it's like this cycle that keeps going, but it's like maybe just remove you being like an obnoxious asshole and see what happens. Like putting the trans flag on the refrigerator.
There's 8 stickers.
And it's like Buc-ee's and an iced coffee and some like mountain climbing thing. Those stickers aren't like political stickers. It's not a MAGA sticker. It's not a Joe Biden sticker.
Yeah.
So you putting like a trans flag, that is a political statement. Maybe not everyone's about that. Maybe they wouldn't say anything if you didn't bring it up. But if you're bringing it up, now we have a problem.
And it's basically like antisocial behavior in the name of something that you believe is right, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, I can be as antisocial as possible because the ends justify the means, or whatever they rationalize. And it's like, you're just a miserable, annoying person at work.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking hates you, right?
Exactly.
Do you want to go to what? Oh, hold on. We kind of have a 2-way go here. How to handle someone like this at work, or the antagonistic portion of it?
Let's do antagonistic first.
So this was another example of this like kind of LGBT antagonism in action, right? Omaha landlord paints house rainbow colors in response to new neighbors' disparaging comments. And then this guy, Lo-Fi Republican, had a great tweet that summed it up. He said, Perfect example of how most LGBTQ causes are ultimately driven by antagonism and spite. He didn't do this out of love for homosexuality, etc. He did it because he hates his neighbor. Many such cases.
And then his neighbor, who's now seeing this like rainbow obnoxious house, hates him more. And then he goes, oh, you hate me. That's why I have to do this.
And the death spiral continues,
Why don't
right?
you just not be the fucking worst?
Well, and that's the thing is gay people, there are great gay people, right? Like, caught me. Caught me on
What?
camera. But the point is,
There's fine gay people.
Gay people being normal and interacting and having positive experience, it's like that's how you do it. You build brick by brick and you like change someone's opinion, you know? You don't
Because you
kill
fit
them
in.
with meanness, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you fit in, you act normal, you're a normal person. I'll shake your hand. I might use a little hand sanitizer.
Or I might think what that hand was doing right before.
I might start visualizing some,
Stroking your shit.
Yeah, what was it? What was it doing? Where's the hand? Let me see both your hands. You know, I might have a reaction like that, but that's just me. I'm an extreme example, right?
Yeah, fecal.
All right, so you got a welding type at your work.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how someone else handled it, right?
Yeah, this is good.
This is like a white collar type handling. Somebody posted on Reddit's Ask Transgender said, veiled transphobia at work, feeling unsafe and not sure what to do. So this is a trans person posting their problems on Reddit. They said, I'm in a weird situation. A new colleague joined and he refuses to use my pronouns or even my name. Instead, he refers to me as my esteemed colleague. I confronted him politely and just said something like, you are my colleague. And he just said something like, you are my colleague and I hold you in esteem, hence my esteemed colleague. It's bullshit. I can tell he's just a transphobic piece of shit. He calls others by their names. I'm the only trans woman in the office and it's really making me uncomfortable. I even spoke to HR about this and they said they can't do anything because my esteemed colleague is apparently not discriminatory. It's genuinely uncomfortable working with him because of this. It really gives me the creeps and makes me feel dehumanized.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's uncomfortable to work with and gives you the creeps.
Yeah, this guy's giving you the creeps, the man in the dress with the Adam's apple.
The man in the dress who's trying to get everyone to call him what they want. That you're making it uncomfortable here.
My esteemed colleague. That's just genius to me.
That's so good.
So at least some people are fighting back. I know most of you guys kind of just eat shit quietly and then laugh about it with your friends, us. But
my esteemed colleague.
You got to give it up to someone who does the my esteemed
All right,
colleague.
we're running behind on time. Last section, the trans shooter was arrested.
Yeah, and this is one of those things where the details are always where the gold is, right? And there was the trans Nashville shooter. We're seeing more trans extremism, and they think the world owes them something. They're already mentally ill, teetering on it. So transgender teenager pleads guilty to planning school church shootings in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
So trans-identified male has pleaded guilty to second-degree assault for threatening to target 3 schools in Colorado. William Whitworth, 19, accepted an arraignment and pleaded to a felony on November 6th. Whitworth was arrested, blah, blah, blah. Whitworth was born male, but uses she, her pronouns and refers to himself as Lily.
Lily.
Nice little dainty, flowery name.
Yeah,
you know?
what's Lily like?
So what does a Lily do? Police were sent to Whitworth's address after his sister called and claimed that he was punching holes in the wall and had made references to school shootings. According to the affidavit, Whitworth's sister used she, her pronouns to refer to her brother. And then the last piece, when police arrived, they found Whitworth drunk in his room, which was littered with filth. The house was in extreme disrepair, and deputies noted that there was trash piled up all around the house to where it made it hard to walk inside. They found a manifesto and some bomb YouTube like tips and stuff. But yeah,
that's classic. Lily's drunk punching holes in the wall again.
Lily punched another hole in the drywall.
Lily's living in squalor.
Lily's living in her own filth. That's so Lily.
Oh, Lily. All right, well, that's the end of Cringe of the Week. Don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. We're moving on to Urban Decay. It's going to get worse.
At least it's funny. At least they make it funny for us, right?
Yeah. All right, first clip of Urban Decay. Let's go to New York City. There was this clip of this guy taking a dump on the street, and look what he does.
Wildin', bro. You wildin', though. That is crazy.
He's blowing dumb.
I know, but there's bathrooms around here, bro. Do what you gotta do, though. You feel me?
Do know what you gotta do, though. Get it, do.
God damn, babe. Put positivity into the universe and receive it abundantly, you heard?
That message isn't going to work.
That shit definitely took somebody.
You say I'm the devil
Word?
on a
The hand is crazy, bro. Oh, the gate? Crazy. No way, my boy. My boy,
he's wiping on the lock.
Put your cheeks away.
All right, that's good. He wiped it on the lock. So the guy's homeless. Give this guy a house.
If this guy had a house, the whole thing would change for him.
And there's so many houses that are empty in America, and just give it to this guy.
Give it to this guy who shit and then rubbed his fingers all over the lock that somebody's going to have to come and unlock the next morning.
Who pays $7,000 for that storefront.
Gets taxed out the ass. Give this guy a house.
Yeah, that way he can rip out all the light fixtures and pull
that
the
way
wire.
that way the local copper dealer will get 20 pounds in.
Yeah, and he'll sell it for $20.
Yeah.
So that guy wiped it on his hands and then wiped it on a lock. But New York City has to cut the police budget, not that they would lock this guy up anyway, to pay for all of the third worlders who are living in high-end hotels.
Yep.
This new article from the Pulse.
Yeah, NYC will spend $4.3 billion on hotels and services for migrants this year. And the interesting part of this is that, $4.3 billion was a 48% increase on earlier estimates. So we overran it by about 50%,
Yeah.
Illegals they're not cheap.
It's a couple $1 billion, and then they spend the money, and it's like, $4.5 billion.
Couple more. And then here's some key details that I think are important. Its contract with the Roosevelt Hotel, now a major migrant processing facility, has only recently been released. Key details are redacted, such as the amount the city is paying per room per day. The city claims this is a trade secret, despite the fact that hotels advertise their rates publicly, right?
Yeah. So $4.3 billion on hotel rooms at a nice hotel for illegals. That guy shits on the ground and on people's businesses, doesn't get in trouble. We're going to have to cut the police budget. They tax you to the max. They allow criminals to do whatever they want. They make it hard to run your business. They import people from the third world. And now...
Is this sustainable? Does this sound sustainable to any of you?
Something don't sound right.
Yeah.
And now they want to tax again, basically, make people pay tolls who are the actual people doing business in the city. So if you drive in New York City, they want you to pay a toll. New York City, first city in the USA to charge $15 to $23 a day to enter traffic zones.
And so it begins. New York City will be the first city in America to charge Americans just to go to work in the morning.
Very first state in the nation, the very first city in America to have a congestion pricing plan.
Americans will have to pay around $23 per day.
Passenger vehicles would be charged $15 to enter the congestion zone, trucks between $24 and $36 depending on size, and motorcycles $7.50. Those tolls would be charged.
Did you think all this shit was going to be free? The illegals, and you think you weren't going to have to make up the tax revenue somewhere else?
Yeah, isn't that insane? These are the people that actually are working in the city and doing stuff. So
how can we squeeze them dry?
They squeeze them absolutely dry and prioritize the dregs of the earth. All right, next thing. There was a teacher who posted about how a substitute teacher dealt with the bad kids in class, and it's something we can apply to the rest of Urban Decay.
Yeah.
Where like a use of force actually is the universal language.
Yeah, I mean, we're big proponents of corporal punishment. We say it should be brought back. A shoplifter should just get worked out.
Yep.
But so it's posted on the teacher subreddit. My students were very well behaved after a substitute manhandled one of them. I teach in a middle school, and the history teacher was absent last week. These students, being middle schoolers in a not-so-great section of town, hint, hint,
Wink, wink, yeah.
Not-so-great section of town. Does that mean anything else than what it means?
No.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Have a tendency to run a little wild, so imagine my surprise when they come into my class meek and quiet and do exactly what I tell them. For the whole period, they were well-behaved, following directions, even saying please and thank you. I later discovered that the history substitute had grabbed a student by the collar and yelled in the student's face, which was so shocking to me that I didn't believe it at first. And while I in no way approve of what the substitute did, my God, it was good to have an easy day.
No way approve.
I in no way approve of the only effective thing for these borderline, criminal students.
And now they listen for a day. And it's like, yeah, that's what they needed the whole time. And that's what the last thing these teachers want to do. That's what they are least willing to do, is do the discipline they need.
And it's like, I want to read the Raw Egg Nationalist quote tweet as well. He said, it's almost as if force is the supreme authority from which all other authorities are derived. And it's like, let's not forget like what works and what there is. And it's a privilege to be in like the rule-based no force society. And the more you jump into raiding the Target or, you know, looting, stealing the catalytic converters and all the shit, like the greasy street crime, breaking in 15 car windows, the more you get to that, the less you deserve the high society treatment, right?
Yeah.
And you need to get back to just beating the shit out of one of these guys and teaching a lesson.
Exactly. People don't realize that high society no force treatment
is a privilege.
And it came from a time when there was force.
Yeah.
And it's like a gift to not have to deal in those terms anymore. But then if you keep doing bad shit, you'll have to return to force.
We're gonna.
All right, let's go to the lady cop. So this is in Alabama. A lady cop arrested a black guy and she used a taser. And this is going all over the internet as like proof of racism and police brutality.
Stand up.
So the guy's in cuffs.
Right there in front of the car.
He's in cuffs and his hands are kind of moving weird. She pulls out a gun from his back right
I
away.
ain't doing shit, bro. I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying what you saying. Oh, yeah, fuck. I'm not. Oh, my God.
Fuck up.
Okay. Down. Oh, my fuck. Oh, my God.
You want it again?
No, man.
Shut the fuck up. You was big and bad. Shut your bitch ass up.
So the cop goes hard. And everyone's like DL Hewley and everyone, they're all posting it. People are saying, you can't change a tire in America. What's this say?
This tweet said, swear I hate where I'm from sometimes. Can't even change your tire on the side of the road as a black man.
Yeah. So the context that's missing was he was an ex-felon with an illegal gun on him while he was being arrested. He was arrested for obstructing government operations, resisting arrest, marijuana possession, and drug trafficking. But he's just trying to change a tire.
Trying to change a fucking tire, man.
Yeah.
No drug trafficking, no illegal gun, all that shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter when you're on Twitter trying to like get the racial tension going.
Exactly.
Facts don't matter when the racial tension is needs to get hyped.
Yeah,
right?
this cop was too rough with the criminal. And then, so it's like no one has that context. No one knows. They just think someone was changing a tire, and then they get tased. And then all the comments start going crazy. We'll just read a few. I'll read all four real quick.
Yeah. So we sick of this, right? So when are we going to start going to these people's houses and fucking them up or catching them leaving their homes and fucking them up? I'm just saying, when we going to start fucking them up? Third grade shit. The ballot or the bullet. The ballot ain't working, black peoples. I rather die standing than on my knees. Nice. Yeah. The police department originated from slave patrol of our ancestors. Nothing new under the sun. They just have a blue uniform instead of a white one.
It's like you're drug trafficking.
This guy was a fucking drug trafficker. What are you talking about?
An ex-felon with a gun, an illegal gun.
Yeah. You want to read this last one too?
Yeah, last one.
This is not going to stop until we make them pay with our own justice, and that's by any means necessary. So yeah.
Everyone's getting real riled up when they see this. That's why DL Hewley posts it.
Yep.
And it's weird because when I drive by, or if I'm walking down the street and I see a white guy getting arrested,
yeah,
I don't say, hey, what are you doing to him? That could be any of us. That could be me. Let him go. He didn't do anything. I just go, oh, shit. That guy's a criminal. Huh, I wonder what he did.
I don't relate with or identify with a criminal white guy who's getting handcuffed at all.
I just go, oh, man, something's going on.
Must be a criminal.
Yeah.
I go, oh, must be a criminal. The cops pulled him over. Oh, does he have a warrant? You know, like my first thought is not free my mans no matter what.
Yeah. And especially because like you see this interaction, everyone sees it who's on the progressive left, and they say, oh, a white cop and a black guy. Like, the white cop's the bad guy, the black guy's the good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how is that? Based on the data, how is that what you assume?
Yeah, and then Memetic Sisyphus had some tweets about this, and he was talking about how these leftists are obsessed with what started the interaction.
Mm-hmm.
And this was another example here that says, Monday, Troup County Sheriff Deputy performed pit maneuver on speeding SUV on I-85 in Georgia at 100 miles per hour. The vehicle flipped into the woods, ejecting 3 occupants and at least 1 dead. They were being chased for shoplifting. And he goes like, it was shoplifting and now someone's dead.
It's like, well, then why would you drive away at 100 miles an hour for shoplifting? Why would you evade the police for shoplifting?
Oh, it's shoplifting. It's so small. Just let the cops pull you over. I mean, you don't flee at 100 miles an hour, do you? That's unsafe.
You get killed for some Wrangler jeans?
Yeah. I bet it was higher end.
It's shoplifting. Yeah. So it's like they put it on the police like it's their fault. Like, oh, why would the police do that? And it's like, well, why would you risk your life for some clothes you stole?
Yeah. And then do you not understand that someone who is running from the police is likely to be even more dangerous than someone who just goes, all right. So, like, how many illegal guns were in the car, or what other crimes were they doing that they had to get away from the police?
Yeah.
How many arrest warrants were out that they had to run? And it's like, you guys should be mad at the guy who was driving a fucking 100.
Yeah.
You guys ever, there's this kind of like trail of thought that happens. Oh, man, I'm in a police chase. What are the police going to do? What do the police do every time you're in a police chase?
They stop you by any means necessary.
They do the pit maneuver or they do the spike strips. There's 2 fucking lanes here.
They don't go, he's going pretty fast.
In Chicago, they do.
It's just shoplifting. Yeah. Actually, they do, yeah.
In Chicago, they don't chase.
Yeah, they don't chase.
But, you know, this was on I-85 in Georgia, and Georgia still chases.
Yep. So whenever you see these situations and there's like these racial tensions getting high, the race baiters jump into action. Urban Decay, we have a clip from him talking about how white people can't relate with the world because they don't relate to people that don't look like them.
I don't think white people worldwide have really reckoned with how much their own personal identity is shaped by constructions of whiteness, and how much that construction of whiteness prevents white people from connecting to humanity.
Yeah.
Whole lot of fucking nothing.
So white people can't connect with humanity because they can't connect with people that don't look like them, is what his point basically is.
That's the gist of it. Their whiteness gets in the way.
Their whiteness gets in the way, which is interesting. Let's look at the data. Survey says.
Yeah, this data, we just happen to have this data. It says how racial groups rate each other. And if you look at whites,
it's basically a straight line within a little range, but basically all the same.
We rate everyone the same. And then you look at blacks, or go ahead.
Yeah, I can read it. Blacks rate whites the worst, blacks the best, and then Asians and Hispanics a little bit better than whites.
Barely better than whites. Still at the bottom, way below blacks,
and
right?
then Asians do whites the worst, blacks and Hispanics low, and then Asians good. And then Hispanics do whites the worst, blacks a little bit better, Asians the same as whites, Hispanics the best. And then whites do pretty much the same down the line for everybody. But we're told that our whiteness is keeping us from connecting with humanity, whatever that means.
So realize where you are, white people. You're at the bottom of everyone's fucking poll. We're the low point of everyone.
And it's like the upside
and we're
down.
The only ones being reasonable.
Exactly. It's upside down and backwards because white people don't know how to connect with everyone else. They look at everyone else poorly, but white people look at everyone else the same. And in fact, everyone else looks at us the worst. So it's fully backwards, fully upside down. And then Urban Decay, his business, his organization, it's a little bit of a paragraph, but you give that a read?
Well, Urban Decay, guys, right? After 2020, when George Floyd got killed, the money started flowing, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody gave donations. And Urban Decay, he got basically a center. He started a center at Boston University that was like the Center for Racial something or whatever. And basically he got a multi-million-dollar budget that was provided to him from grants and like funding and whatever. And the center struggled. Basically, I'm not going to read the whole paragraph, but it's like accusations of mismanagement and he botched it and they weren't producing any work and they hired too many people too quickly and they didn't do anything. So, yeah, man, I don't know. You don't just give someone money during the hype of a George Floyd moment.
Yeah.
You kind of need to have academic credentials and a baseline of expertise before someone dumps $40 million for you to have fun with.
Exactly. Not the smartest guy, doesn't know how to run anything. All he knows how to do is critique white people when it's actually not the white people who need the most critiquing these days. Take a look around.
Take a look.
All right. that is the end of our Urban Decay. Don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. Moving on to Uplifting Gold. Before we get there, guys, the holidays are coming. This is the last week to put your orders in for fleccasmerch.com. If you guys want to get some cool t-shirts for the bass people in your family or maybe yourself, fleccasmerch.com is the website. Go there today. Put your orders in within the next week so you make sure you get it before Christmas. We're going to be shutting down the merch store early to guarantee that everyone gets their Christmas orders. So get it while you still can. If you see it sold out, it's too late. All right, Uplifting, the AI African robot. This was uplifting because these are just two worlds that don't really ever cross paths, like the super tech AI and then the drum hut people.
African drummers in the advanced robotics community.
But it's cool to see them overlap. That's rare. Not advanced and advanced coming together. All right, Grandpa's singing. I don't know what country this is. Philippines.
Filipino, yeah.
You know I like this shit.
Can we play this?
Yeah.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the dance in my mind.
Isn't that nice?
Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the dance in my mind.
That's nice.
That's good shit.
That's really good shit. All right, let's move on to the kids sledding down the hill with the ice and the dirt.
Yep.
This is Americana. Look at those stumps right there. They crashed into those, they're dead.
Yep. It's called eating dirt.
That's Americana, baby. That's what the kids are up to.
Yep.
That's what I like to see. That's what I was up to when I was a kid.
Yep.
All right.
I was actually the one encouraging the kid, do it. You'll be fine. I was never the sledder.
Yeah. That's good. And I was never the sledder either. Of course not. What are you going to get broken leg?
Get stumped.
Yeah. All right. Hunting eagle on the guy's shoulder. This is cool. We're ending the whole show on this.
You know, I was out hunting today. Come up on this old lake way back in the woods, and I saw an eagle all the way across it. See the lake. And I said, Lord, I sure would like to get close to that eagle, because sometimes I feel like you don't always hear me. But if you hear me today, let me get close.
He grabbed
I had a
it.
bald eagle land on my shoulder.
Landed on it.
Out here hunting. I don't think you can get no closer than that right there.
That's pretty nice.
At all.
Hey, no one believed in us.
Yeah.
God did.
God did. All right, that is the end of Uplifting Gold. We are at our shout-out section. At the end of the show on Fridays, we are doing our shout-outs. Happy birthday to Charlotte. She's a baby, and we love her. There she is. Is that fun?
It's a waste of a shout-out. Charlotte. Hey, Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte.
Cuckoo.
Thank you for watching, Richard Fleccas.
Richard Fleccas.
Oh, man.
Makes me feel bad for swearing earlier. We had that whole section about bullshit.
Yeah, and even right now we're cursing.
I know. Sorry, Charlotte. I'm sorry,
on
Charlotte.
Either end of her shout out. Yeah. Happy birthday to Ryan. His birthday is December 9th, and he's a great dad. And here's him with his family. Love that guy. Or him working out.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
Looking pretty shredded, Ryan.
Very shredded.
Chill out. Save some for the rest of us.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Adelina's mom, Lex. You know Lex from the Rat Boy chat.
Lex Fox.
Of course, she's the best. A bonus lander. Happy birthday. We did not forget you. We did not miss it. Of course, we noticed. Happy 50th birthday to Jeff, and happy 25th anniversary to Jeff and his wife, Catherine, next week. Oh. So Jeff's birthday is this week. Catherine and his anniversary is next 25 years.
Wow.
Bonus landers. Happy anniversary to Sheldon and Emily Mosley on December 10th. And it's Emily's birthday next week, too. That's weird.
Double dipping, huh?
Well, is that two groups of different people?
I don't know.
One has a birthday this week, and then, happy anniversary this week to Sheldon and Emily, and then next week is Emily's birthday, and then happy 50th birthday to Jeff this week, and next week is their anniversary. So there's some stuff going on. And then also, last but not least, Hannah. You remember Hannah from the Arizona Art Show?
Yeah, of course.
So remember we said go find Hannah and she'll give you free Broccoli Rob stickers? Well, we found a video and it looks like a lot of people showed up. So they're there. Broccoli Rob, there's them, a whole bunch of people. Everyone's got Broccoli Rob stickers. A
lot of podcast
crazy.
watchers.
And our boy Spencer was there too.
Is that Spencer?
No, that's not him. Keep going. That's everybody. And then there's a picture of Spencer and Hannah too. And another person. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Everyone showed up. That was great. Honestly, I was expecting maybe 1 or 2 people. There's like 10 people. So
feels good.
Show's more powerful than we realize.
Yeah, people will go out. If you send them, they will go.
Yeah.
It's like a Field of Dreams type shit.
Exactly. And we also have a show watcher who did some Black Wheelchair Santa art in the background.
Oh, yeah, that's good art.
And then also there is a Fleccas puzzle going around.
Yeah, this is a both of us puzzle. Big Pharma Parm made a puzzle of us, and I guess she's going to send it to us at the end.
That's interesting.
Fascinating stuff.
Well, another Fleccas Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Fleccastalks.com for Bonus Land. We have a new Bonus Land dropping right now on Fleccastalks.com. Join the community. There's over 4 hours of exclusive content each month. We have a great episode coming today. And we will see you on Friday.
Go fuck up, you song.